Hello, Dr. Rodney. We are live.
Well, hello, Ching. I'm glad we're live. Let's rock and roll.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to my program. My name is Ching Juhl. I have been doing this, what do you call, a conversation with someone very special for about 18, 19 months. And since the pandemic, I started this program.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, thank you. You're my, I think, 143 episode.
Whoa, 100. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you make me feel old now.
No. It's not. It's just like I am, very fortunate to be able to talk to so many wonderful people during this difficult time. At the very beginning, it was like lockdown. Now we actually, semi free, right? But
Yeah.
I don't know about Arizona, where you live in New York City. When we go to eat dinner in restaurants or see concerts in Carnegie Hall, we need to see we need to show our vaccine card. So let me welcome our guest here. Thank you for being with us. Yeah, so let me read us a short biography of Dr. Rodney Pearson. Okay, Dr. Rodney Pearson, the writer, producer, and director of the new movie Shaded Passions, and the owner of Crisis Media Inc., a licensed therapist with more than 20 years in the field of mental health. He is a pastor of 45 years in ministry. He has worked in the field of music and entertainment most of his life and is a writer, producer, and actor of stage plays, TV, and film in Hollywood, and a sought after public speaker. He is happily married to Trena and a resident of Arizona since 2003. Welcome, Dr. Rani.
Thank you, Ching. Thank you so much.
You're
I'm
very
glad. I really
welcome.
am glad to be here with you.
Yeah, you are a man of Renaissance man.
That's another word that makes me feel old.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, yeah. So tell us. Usually, I ask my guests, like, how did we meet? Do you remember?
I remember us meeting on Clubhouse. You were in a room, and the room was talking about distribution and some of the newer things that's going on with independent filmmakers, the way that things are changing in the industry. And you were so insightful that I just connected with you right away. And you know, well, we've
Thank
just been
you.
in touch ever since.
Thank you. Thank you. We have at least, if not many things in common. We're filmmakers and musicians, but we have another thing in common is that you live in Arizona. And I think I told you I lived in Arizona for 7 years.
Correct. Yeah, you did tell me that. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So you're so lucky. You're in this warm climate right now. We're kind of in a doom, kind of coldness in New York in the east.
Which is the reason why I don't live on the East Coast.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
exact reason why. And
I can.
I'm from LA. I'm from
Mm,
Los Angeles, California.
okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm used to that kind of weather, and but it's still humid, in
Yes.
Los Angeles. So Arizona is nice, dry, hot climate that I like a lot.
Right. Right. It is. It is. The sun actually makes you happy and makes you healthy. And some people, they need a sun, right? They much needed sun. Yeah. So you are so versatile in many different ways. And I always like to also pick my guest's brain, and I like to find out like what is your uh background? Like, how did you become a pastor, a musician, a filmmaker, a producer, a businessman? Like, where all these things come from? So we'll trace back to where you're from.
Okay, okay. Well, I will tell you this. I started off doing plays, little church plays. That's where I really started acting. And I must have been in, 8 or 9 years old. In school, I would be a part of the oratory, speech types of clubs. I always liked speaking, and I like being in front of people. That was just a natural for me. Um, and then I was a musician. I think I played my first instrument when I was in the second grade. I started playing trumpet in second grade. That's back in the day when they actually had instruments in the school for you to use. So yeah, I started playing trumpet. Then I went to trombone. From there, I kept kind of keeping myself back and forth with the acting, and I went on to the army. And when I was in the army, I was in the army band.
Wow.
And I was also a chaplain's assistant in the army.
What is a
So
chaplain? Tell me.
a chaplain is basically could be a priest, a pastor, a person who is make sure they conduct the religious services,
Mm,
some of the spiritual rites and religious, anything that has to do with religion, if you will. They are the leaders in the military. So if there's a funeral, if there's a marriage, if there's a need for counseling, oftentimes the chaplains would do that. And I was a chaplain's assistant to
mm,
make sure that all of the incoming clients, or if you will, the military personnel, I would make sure that they had their appointments set. I'd make sure that the chapels were set up for services, all of that kind of stuff. And then I went from there. I was in Alaska. And the
oh,
general who was in Alaska wanted a band because there was no band in existence there. And he put out a call all across the state of Alaska. And anybody who is assigned up here, if you want to audition, come because we're putting together a band.
oh,
So it was a provisional band. It wasn't like an official band. It was a provisional band
yeah,
that
yeah,
the general put together.
yeah.
And I've often thought about, hey, that would make a good movie right there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Wow. So you had a lot of experience. And
Yeah,
so where were you born? Like
I was
what
born in
city?
Los Angeles, California.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. I was,
Wow.
and everybody in Los Angeles knows of the hospital that we used to call Big General, and that was the big hospital right in the heart of Los Angeles, California. That's where I was born.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. So now tell me and like what triggered you to become a filmmaker?
That is something that I have had a heart for many years. I've always wanted to do film, even when I was doing stage plays. I still had that heart of I want to eventually do film. I want to eventually do film. I was in school here in Arizona, and I took some film courses while I was here, and my interest just continued to rise, continued to rise. I started writing books, and I started writing some fictional books. The more I would write, the more I would do, the more interest that I got in terms of how much more can I do. Finally, I did my play called "You Can't Keep a Good Woman Down." I did that 56 times, and after the 56th performance, I said to myself, "No more stage. I'm going into film." And I started writing a new script. And as I wrote that new script, I started putting it together, started talking about the production part and how much money it would take. And I taught myself, and started reading books. And I did a lot of work while I was in Hollywood, I did a couple of commercials while I was there. I went to acting school. But then when I moved to Arizona, I got an agent, kept doing some acting, but I had in the back of my mind, I want to make my own film. And that's what I did. Last year, we got on it. Soon as we got started, the pandemic hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Soon
So
as we got on it.
yes. So tell us the film you have been working on, and it's finished, right?
Yes. My film, Shaded Passions.
Mm-hmm.
I am so excited about Shaded Passions because it's a film that really talks about the heart of a therapist who was a pastor. And he gets really caught in a very difficult position because his first job is working with sexual offenders. And that can be a challenging job because, you're not used to dealing with these quote unquote criminals. You're used to dealing with maybe somebody with some psychological disorder, somebody who is, needing marital counseling, some kid who needs some help with some behavioral issues. But I came right into dealing with sexual offenders. And at that point, I really decided that I wanted something to talk about the challenge and the difficulty that I had as a therapist with sexual offenders. And that's what I did.
Wow. Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So shall we see the trailer right now?
Sure, yeah. And you gotta spell Shaded Passions right.
Sorry. Shaded Passion. Wait.
SHADED, right.
PHA. Yeah, sorry.
No problem.
PHA, wait.
SHA.
SHA. Yeah. Wait, hold on. SHADED, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. I only have one weakness, Rodney.
What's that?
I misspell things.
If that's your only flaw, you're doing great, okay?
Only one. Is it right
now? Yep, that's better. Put an S at the end of passion, and then you got it.
Oh, passion 4. Okay, passion 4. Chinese people, there's like has to be sometimes the Chinese language that we do not have a plural or singular difference.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. You can say many. Yeah, many apple, one apple. There's no apples.
Okay, interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. There you go. You got it now, girl. You got it
now. So we're gonna let's see the 1 minute trailer.
All right.
Okay. All right. So we can share this and share this. Okay. Watch. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me get it right. Okay, one more time. Share screen. Okay. Watch. Let me see if that's right.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're gonna start from beginning. Make sure we have the volume. Here we go. This is a trailer of Shaded Passions.
Louis, this is such a great idea, baby. Perfect way to end our week.
And you deserve it. Listen, first of all, let me start by saying hello, and I'm surprised. I didn't expect to get you guys as my first group.
That's it. I'm the therapist, and I'm just going to do my job.
Gentlemen.
I mean, you could go back to the church. They haven't found someone yet. I mean, you have until the first of the year.
Rhonda, you listen. I'm not going back to that church.
That was really great.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. And you look like 35 years old in there.
30. I love you. I just fell in love with you. Okay. I'm gonna tell my wife that there's another woman. Okay.
Really, it's really good. So tell me, like, from the shooting, from the script to shoot to finish, how long does it take?
It took about a year. It took about a year.
That's short. Yeah.
Yeah, that is short.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I've got to change that because you said from script.
Yeah.
So we started in February of 2020 and finished in October to script to end, finished editing and everything, October of 21. So I forgot you said including the script and rehearsals and everything. So yeah, it was about a year and a half.
I see.
Maybe a year and 9 months. But COVID hit, and when COVID hit, it changed everything for us. And you know what the thing is? I'm going to tell you this, Ching. Not only did it change everything for us, but it changed it for the better. I was a new filmmaker, and there was so much to learn.
Yeah.
And I had a great DP, a great director of photography. And that director of photography, we got a chance to work together, learn each other. My team, all of the cast and the crew, we got a chance to spend more time together. I had no idea how long it would take. I had never done it before. I didn't know what it was supposed to look like. But we got a chance to spend more time. And, you know, I think it turned out really good. I learned a lot. I learned a lot.
Yeah. Is this your first feature?
This is my first feature. That's correct.
Yeah. And
I did some student stuff when I was in school, but all of that was some short work. So this is definitely my first feature.
Wow. So tell me a little bit from the did you raise money to shoot the film, like, and then how is the process of like the funding and from you finish? Because I thought, of course, you know, a lot of people make film in a very low budget. Like I made my own documentary without any money coming in, or like I didn't spend much money on it, you know, except my time, right? Which is a lot of money. Yeah. But so how's your like raising fund for your film? And then to now, are you looking for distribution?
Well, when we got started, we had a couple of people who committed to help us with funding. But like I said, COVID hit. And when COVID hit, everything changed. Yeah. We did not have those funders any longer. And because of the change, it was like what you said. It had to come out of the pocket of my wife and I. And so here we are with $100,000 budget, which is pretty small for a feature film. Yeah. But we had this budget thinking that this was just going to be a short when we started. And then things started changing. Everything started, we're shifting here and shifting there. And we had to, everything was no more funded by anybody on the out. We had to do all the funding ourselves. So we had to be very careful. We had to strategically spend. We had to cut down some things that we wanted to go this way or wanted to go that way. But all in all, included the editing, and as a filmmaker, you have to do a lot of things yourself.
Right. Yeah.
You wish you could have hired somebody for this or hired for somebody for that. But I got very creative. Yeah. And in the midst of being creative, it just meant that I had to do a lot of things by myself, on my own, You said time. I spent a lot of time
Yeah.
in the editing room and had to buy a lot of new equipment, but it was all worth it. And it's making our second project even easier to work on because we got everything set now. But
Yeah.
that's what happened for us.
Yeah. The best way to learn something is just to do it, right? Because
Right.
you can go to a film school for many years, but that does not mean everybody comes film school, they know how to make film. Actually, they
That's
may they may even like good at one thing, maybe a cinematographer, but not necessarily knowing other things or editing, or sound or so I think making film is such a multitask art making, right? It's like if you have a good film, if you don't have a good audio, then there will be no good film. If you don't, if you have a good audio, if your story is not interesting, and then you have no film. So now from your experience, right? So tell us, why would people wanted to see your film? Like, what is the forte?
I think that there are a couple of things. First, I already gave you a background of myself,
Hmm.
and I actually insert that into the film, my own background.
Right.
But the thing that I think that's great about my background, I'll start here, is that most people don't know what goes on for people who are getting treatment for sexual offenders, for sexual offense.
Mhm.
Most of these people are court ordered. Some of these people have offenses that are very minor infractions. And some of them have major crimes, and they're still in the same room and they're getting treatment. So most people don't know what goes on in that, and I really wanted to reveal that. I had to dumb it down a lot because some of the crimes that I witnessed as a therapist were very, very heinous and terrible crimes. So I just made the crimes more representative of what happens as opposed to trying to get all deep and reveals too many facts. But then there's the other piece, and that is the woman who plays the wife of the therapist. The therapist is played by a young man by the name of Rory Darvell. Rory Darvell is a tremendous actor I met years ago, and we met doing a play together and in Los Angeles. And he was just a great actor. And it was 25 years ago, just about, that we met. So I tried to get in touch with him. I told him I really needed him. I had another person who was set, but I couldn't get that person. Rory came on board. He played the part and did an excellent job. The other part is by the person who played his wife. And that person is Tiffany Benyon Mangum. And Tiffany, also a great actress, but she's really a singer. She's really a performer, a gospel singer. And so when we put them together, I mean, the chemistry was magic. They act like they had been together for years. What I think that people want to know is, number one, they want to see a positive story. And that was real important to me. How do you talk about sexual offenders within the same space that you're talking about a love story? This love story between this man and this woman is really accentuated in the movie. And so I wanted to some kind of way acquire a balance. And that's what I wrote about. They're in love with each other. That is like me and my wife. My wife and I are absolutely in love, and we've been together almost just about to come up on 18 years. And I wanted the film to depict the type of marriage that I have. And that was important to me. So people are going to see a positive story. That's the first thing. Even though the theme or some of the themes in the story are very painful to watch, but they're going to learn something. The woman who plays the part of Rhonda, the wife of Lewis, Yes, that's her. She, the way I wrote it for her is that she is a mechanic. Now, the issue is we don't have many female mechanics, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
awesome.
the film shows her as a black female mechanic who loves race cars. Nothing typical. Nothing typical.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
both of these stories are stories about the fields and industries that the average person doesn't know anything about. And so she talks about her struggles as a female mechanic. At times she says, I feel like I'm a runaway slave. I'm treated like that. But it ends up that she is recognized as the best mechanic in the shop. She ends up, I don't want to spoil the whole situation, but she ends up with her dream coming true. And that was a powerful piece that I wanted to make sure. Both of them, that's where in the name, Shaded Passions come in. Both of them are working to fulfill their passions, all right? Their
Yeah.
passions, her as a mechanic for fast cars, him as a therapist. And they're working in their passions, but the great thing is that they are able to work through the obstacles.
Don't forget the guy in white. That's you.
Yes, he plays. Yes, that's Rory playing me. Yes, that's right. That's right. And do you remember when we were doing a pre-interview, you asked me, you said, so is your wife a mechanic?
Yeah, yeah.
And I said, no, she's not a mechanic at all.
That's funny. Oh
Yes.
gosh, yeah, that's wonderful. So where is the procedure process?
Okay.
Can you
Yeah.
talk about, like, when can people watch this film?
Okay. You asked about distribution.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we were fortunate enough that just right out the bat, we have two distributors that have taken us on, and we're just really excited about that. The film been delivered to the distributors, and now we're just waiting for that release date. Everything else is done, and that's what we're waiting for now, that release date, and we're so excited about it. I had to learn this part too. I thought that you submit to a movie to a distributor, and then it's right on. It's going to be streaming. Most of what we're going to see is it's streaming, and no, it takes weeks for a film to go from a place of when you're completed after an edit. It takes weeks for it to go to the platform that it's going to be on. So we have several channels that have already been submitted, and we're just waiting for that release date now. That's all we're waiting for.
Wow, that's wonderful. Yeah, that's wonderful.
And we're so excited, Ching, because
Yeah.
we know that there is nothing like this out there. There's no story like our story out there.
Yeah.
And when people see some of the things that we have, for instance, one of the singers that we have is Howard Hewitt. Now, Howard Hewitt is, for many people in the Black community, is like a legend because he's such a great singer. He did some wonderful, wonderful tunes, and we were fortunate enough to get him to come in and to do a tune on our song, on our film. Great singer, great singer. Another singer is a young man by the name of Uche. Uche is actually from Africa, and he was one of the 2020 finalists for American Idol.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Rory actually wrote the one and only Grammy-winning song for Barry White.
I see.
The one and only song. Rory is a co-writer with that song. I mean, it's just an amazing cast and crew. I believe this is just going to be a big hit. It's great. Of course, I'm a little biased.
Yeah, you are definitely. So, so on the other note, I Google you when before I interview people, I always Google people. And man, you have so many books on Amazon. So tell us a little bit.
I've written 12 books.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, I've written 12 books.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and most of my books are about relationship building, and that's what I do, is help to build relationships. As you know, like I said, I'm a clinical therapist, so I work at a local prison here in Arizona.
Oh.
And so that's what I actually do. That's my day job. I
Oh.
have a practice also that helps to build relationships. That's a private practice that I have. And so my books mostly center around relationship building. I have a book on conflict resolution and management. I have a book on manipulation. I have a book for singles. I have a book for married people. I have a book for women, how they relate with men. So most of my books.
Oh, teach me how to please. Because one of the book is like, what is it? How do you please your man? Something
yes.
like, yeah.
One of my books is 20 and a half ways for a woman to please her man and keep him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
And it's a big seller. It's a hot book. Everybody
really?
loves it. Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. Let me see. Your wife is a very lucky woman.
I believe so.
Did you see it? So here's the book on Amazon. I saw that.
That's it.
So give us give us 2 secrets.
Well, one secret is you have to know how a man thinks. You have to understand that a man does not think like a woman. And so here's an example. Women like to, most women like to, when they explain themselves, they explain all the details. Okay. Every woman I deal with wants to explain all the details. My publicist friend in Hollywood, when she wants to explain something to me, she goes into details. My details. My wife goes into details. My daughter goes into details. You went into details.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Most men, they just get to the point. Get to the point.
The solution, right?
Get to the solution. Let's deal with the problem. So that's one thing is that women need to understand. Men and women think differently. Okay. And I will give you a second point. A second point is that men feel, but they feel differently. So sometimes women say things like men have no emotions, they don't connect, they don't feel anything, but men do feel. They feel, but they express those feelings very differently. And so I try to spend time in my practice because my practice is called My Love and Life Coach, My Love and Life coaching.com. And at myloveandlifecoaching.com, I focus on relationship building. And most of my clients are all people who need and who want to build better relationships. So that's what most of my book's about.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I don't remember which title. Is that the one, The Power of the Process? That one is about the tragedy?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah. Do you mind talking about it?
Oh, no. Oh, okay. It is a book about several tragedies that I've been through. I lost 4 children.
Oh, my God.
Yes. And those 4 children died all in separate times and places. And it was devastating. That was all 4 of my children. And they died. 2 of my children had sickle cell anemia, and they passed away as a result of complications from that disease. One of my children actually was killed in a car accident right outside of my church in San Bernardino, California, where I used to pastor years ago. And then my 4th child was born premature and died 2 hours after birth.
Oh.
And so in the power of the process, I talk about the devastation, how I was able to overcome. I would talk about my divorce. I've had 2 divorces. I talk about that, how I was able to work through that. I talked about low self-esteem and how I was able to get through those things. And so that's what that book is all about, an easy read to let people know you can face some of the hardest times of your life and still come out okay if you focus on the good. And that's my what I try to do is get people. That's kind of the theme. We focus on the good that we experienced with the life of that person. We don't focus on all of the negative. We focus on the good. Whenever I'm dealing with somebody who who may have difficulty understanding, why did somebody die? Why did my son die? Why did my daughter die? I say, let's not spend time focusing on why they died. Let's spend time focusing on how they live. My child who lived for 2 hours, just 2 hours, I still remember and have great memories of them being in the belly of their mom, my then wife. I remember singing to my child in the mother's stomach. I remember all of that. I remember the short trips we would go to with my children. I focus on those things. And my mother, who recently died 3 years ago, I didn't even want to go to look in the casket. I did not want to see her after she passed away because I wanted to remember her alive. Laughing and smiling and having fun. Those are the things that I want to remember. So that's what my books are about. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So do you have any future book thinking of writing, or you're still writing something? Like how much do you like you have several, right now? What, how many? 18?
No, just 12. Just
12.
12.
That's a lot. So yeah,
Yes.
do you have something you want to write? You're thinking of doing it?
I want to write a book on the power of pleasure. I want to write a book about the good and the bad of pleasure, how pleasure can drive us into very uncomfortable and destructive things, and yet pleasure can do some great things for us. So I really want to focus on that because that is at the heart of a lot of the therapy that I do, is helping people to understand you can't be driven by pleasure, yet it's a very human instinct to do.
Yeah,
That's
wonderful.
Yeah.
So what is Crisis Media Inc? Is that your film? Film? Oh no, that's your therapist. Tell me a little bit about Crisis Media Inc.
Crisis Media Inc. That is my media company for film. It's the company that headed our television show that we had here in Arizona. I had a show called Crises, and it dealt with survivors of domestic violence, of sexual offense, survivors of tragedies, of natural disasters. And we always talked about how these survivors overcame and what they ended up doing with their lives. So that was a show that I did, a weekly show here in Arizona on the local television network here. And Crises Media was the production company for that. We also did the stage plays. I did a stage plays called "You Can't Keep a Good Woman Down" that I told you about. In fact, that's our next movie project. You Can't Keep a Good Woman Down, and that's a great story as well. And then, of course, doing this particular movie, Shaded Passions, Crises Media again. Is the production company for that.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, at what point you moved to Arizona? Like, what made you move there? Is because you have a job offer, you moved there?
Okay, now you're getting deep. Here we go. You didn't put that on my list of questions.
question list.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I moved to Arizona
Yeah.
because of some serious marital problems that I was having. And we thought, hey, maybe we can be in a new place. Things could go, differently. And the results, I've learned the hard way, changing locations does not change your life. So we ended up divorcing. The marital problems did not stop.
Mhm.
And so that's how I ended up in Arizona. But it has become my best life. I'm living my best life here in Arizona.
Uh-huh.
I have the woman of my dreams, my soulmate, as my wife. I have a wonderful church that I pastor now. And I'm doing great. I was not a therapist when I came here, and became a licensed therapist here.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so I love being in Arizona.
Yeah, yeah. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah. So, now tell me, what is your next project other than putting the distribution through your film, Shaded Passions? And you want to make another film?
Yes. The film that I want to make is You Can't Keep a Good Woman Down.
Oh, yeah.
I have my shirt. It says Good Woman the Play. Good Woman the Play. Because I did this play, as I said, 56 times. Now, here's the amazing thing, backstory about this play.
Yeah.
We had great success with this play. We did it all in California. The first time I did it was in 1979. Again,
Wow.
I had never produced a play. I had never written a play.
Yeah.
Just little small things. But in
Yeah.
1979,
Yeah.
while I was a student at San Bernardino Community College, I put together this play. I had been a music director for other people, but I had never done my own. And the play went so well. It was a unique story about a woman who was really trying to make a good life for herself, but it was so tough. She was a single woman. Her shop was in a bad neighborhood. She had no backup, no funding, and she was a victim of her own trauma and domestic violence. And so I wrote the story to help say something that would empower women, and to help women to understand that even if you are going through a good thing, you can still make it through. And one day I was watching my mother, who was suffering with arthritis, and she was suffering, she was getting older, and she was in pain getting out the car. And as she was getting out the car, I just said to her out of instinct, I said, "Mom, are you going to be okay? Are you okay?" And my mother said, "Absolutely, son. You can't keep a good woman down."
Wow.
And
That's a
when
nice sentence.
yeah. I mean, and there are a couple of songs like that are out there. But what I wanted to do was to really make a point to women, to let them know they should feel that they can do anything, that nothing should hold them back. That's why Shaded Passions says, here's the passion you have. You want to be a female mechanic, you can do it.
Yeah.
Good Woman says, if you want to open your own beauty shop, and even if you don't have all of the funds, you just have the faith, you stick to it, and you can accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in life. And so now we're going to go ahead, and I'm just about to finish writing the script. I've had a couple of people who are already interested. We think we're going to have some funding for this one. And I'm already doing some casting. Half of my cast has already been selected and doing some new things. But yeah, we want to really tell women, don't let anything stop you. Don't let anybody discourage you. Don't let anybody get in your way, because you can't keep a good woman down.
That's wonderful. So you do so many things, writing, pastoring. Can you say pastoring? and working on the film. And how do you divide your time? Like do you get up really early and you be very disciplined? And do you write down the list of things to do? How do you do that?
Most of the time, I put things in a box in my brain. And when it's time for this, that's what I do. When it's time for this, that's what I do. And I try to keep those things as separate as possible. Because yes, I'm a pastor, I'm a therapist, and I'm also a doctoral student. Here I am, 64 years old. I'm a doctoral student working on my 3rd doctorate degree.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, I have a private practice, and the most important thing in my life is my family. As I told you, I love my wife dearly. So I have to put those things and segment them. And when I'm going to work on this thing, that's what I'm going to work on. But I'll tell you this, probably the most important thing in my life that helps me to accomplish a lot of this, and that is my dear wife. My wife understands. She has learned that I'm a driven person, and when she needs attention, I drop everything and give her the attention that she needs. But yeah, that's how I do it.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. And I ask you a personal question. How did you meet your wife?
Oh, that's a wonderful personal question. Hey, Ching, that's the most favorite question. I love it.
That's awesome.
Okay, so how we met. I was a public speaker, and in a place where I was speaking, my then, she wasn't my wife, was in the audience. And in this place where I was speaking, we had door prizes. And these door prizes were given at random for different reasons and different things. And I gave her the winning prize. And the winning prize was a book concerning the industry that I was there to speak on behalf. Well, when I announced that she was the winner, one of my people who were behind the scenes said, "No, she can't be the winner because somebody else is the winner. We already picked him, Dr. Pearson. We already picked him." And I said, "Oh, I didn't know." So because I promised the woman that she had won, I said, "Listen, I'm going to give you something better. I'm going to give you one of my books." So I asked her, I said, so which book would you like? The book on building relationships or the book on being single? She says, "Well, I'm single." And I said, "Okay, I'm going to give you a book I wrote called Significantly Single." She got the book, she read the book, and she wanted me to autograph her book, but I was out of town. I was in Atlanta. Now, here is the beauty about the story. I was in Atlanta going to see a woman that I was interested in marrying.
Oh my God.
Yes, I was interested in marrying her, but I had never met her before.
Wow,
So
that's wild.
Yeah,
So
I
wild.
flew to Arizona. I flew from Arizona to go meet this woman in Atlanta.
Yeah, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia. Guess what, Ching? Guess what?
Yeah.
She never showed up.
Oh no!
Never showed up.
It's a spam.
Catfish.
Oh my God.
She never showed up. I was heartbroken.
Oh my God.
Got back on the plane, and I'm sitting there just miserable.
Oh,
wow, I made this long trip. She never showed up. I'm getting back. And I knew before I got back that here this woman was who wanted me to autograph her book. And also wanted me to do some training.
Oh,
And so for the company I was working for.
yeah,
So we set up a time and we would meet and we'd come together. Well, here's what I found out,
yeah,
that she read my book on Significantly Single.
yeah.
And she read that book and she said to herself, I am going to learn how to enjoy being single. I am going to stop doing this thing that I do, trying to be a wife and trying to go on dates and all. She says, I'm going to stop doing all of that. And I am going to be a significantly single woman. That's the commitment she made to herself, right?
Uh-oh. She made a big mistake.
She made a big mistake. Because when we met,
Yeah.
she said the first thing that came to her mind is, he looks like he'd be a good husband. And she said, no, I can't think like that. I'm going to be significantly single. I just read the book.
Yeah.
Well, we got together.
Yeah.
I invited her to my home. I've said, okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to sign your book. I'm going to do some training with you. And we are going to just get to know each other.
Yeah.
Well, the rest is history. Okay? Because after we met that day, we have been together ever since.
Oh my God.
Ever since.
That's a beautiful story.
It was destined for us to be together.
Yeah.
It's going on 18 years now.
Oh my God. My God.
Almost.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. And I'm happy and have been
just tell her she has no discipline. I'm just
she should have stood her ground. Right?
Oh my God, that's a good movie, you know.
Yeah, it was a great experience. And she truly is the love of my life.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So that's how we met.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Well, you're lucky and she's lucky. You're both lucky. Yeah.
We call ourselves blessed.
Yeah.
We call ourselves blessed.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, so this is amazing. You've been through a lot, but you have such a fulfilled life and in many different directions. That's just quite amazing.
No complaints.
Yeah. So, what brought you to Clubhouse? What's good about that? It's good about that.
All right. Hey, it's very interesting that you say that.
Yeah.
When I was first talking about trying to do my film, my director of photography, my DP says, well, you've never done this before. You've never gone to school and fulfilled. You don't have any degrees. It would be a good idea for you to start hearing what's going on in the industry today. Because when I was involved in the industry, it was years ago. And so he said, there's this new thing out called Clubhouse. He said, I'm going to invite you to Clubhouse. And I got on and I said, wow, this is amazing. There's so many people who seem to be so willing to help others. This is amazing. And I kept meeting people. And the more that I met people, the more I learned about the film industry. And when I saw the time that you were on, like I said, now my film was finished and I was trying to do distribution. I had heard about companies like Film Hub, Indie Rights. I heard about these platforms like Tubi and the Netflix and all. I heard about all of these different platforms, but I wanted to know, how do you get involved? How do you do this thing? That's how I was able to find out about it, was by listening to people like yourself, professionals who were doing this thing and they were giving great advice. And that's what led me to get on board and do this distribution and connecting. That was the beauty about Clubhouse. It's the networking, the connecting, letting people talk to you without you having to get through the gatekeeper.
You can talk to people in your pajamas. Another
exactly. Yeah, or less. Pajamas or less.
Or your underwear. And yeah, I'm just like I can praise more about Clubhouse. I can't praise enough about
Yeah,
Clubhouse. I
yeah,
met so many great filmmakers. I learned so many things, a lot of like the language I don't even know, and mostly it's managementorial kind of things, and even technically. And then yeah, I also learn a lot of different things like other social media, like TikTok. There's a TikTok group I go in there now. They were very nice. They teach me how to do it. So I'm
mhm,
trying to do a TikTok, but not about filmmaking. I'm a musician. So I actually make violin videos on TikTok.
okay, okay,
Yeah, I try to, just like do a different dimension of me. So we'll
yeah,
see what happens. Yeah. But
yeah,
anyway, it's just overall, I don't know. It's just so amazing. Yeah. So and my you know. So yeah.
well, yeah, exactly. That's where those type of connections come from. I just heard you talking about the platform that you use here on YouTube, and when I heard you talking about that, I said, I want to know this lady. I want to see what is she doing. And then I looked on YouTube and saw the things that you had done, and I was really impressed. And that's when we connected from there.
Thank you. Thank you
Mhm.
very much. Yeah. Jack Chen is a friend of mine from New Hampshire. He was asking, do you have kid uh, with your wife?
We don't have children together, but a part
Uh-huh.
of this story is I lost four children, and she had four children here in Arizona who all needed a good daddy.
God bless you. Mm,
Yeah. And
mm.
so it was beautiful when the way that we connected from there, we were able to have just a wonderful relationship that was built. And, we're a great family. We're a great family.
Mm.
Now, she has a total of six children, but two of them were grown and up and going. They were lived in Los Angeles, but the four of them were here in Phoenix. And we have a great family now.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you you're a good dad, and you also, become someone else's, dad, and then, that kind of connection. You needed each other.
Yeah.
Kids need you and you need them. So that's just
Yeah.
so wonderful.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. That's
Yeah.
right.
That's
And
wonderful.
and Mama needed a big daddy. So Big Daddy came in the picture.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we let's see. Yeah, so anything else you want to cover? We at 5 o'clock. Would you like me to do a rapid fire with you? Three
I
three
don't
minutes.
I don't mind.
Rapid
Yes.
fire. Yeah.
Bring it on, baby.
Yeah. So yeah, we have 2 minutes left. So now tell me a little bit about if you have anything you want to shout out. We haven't touched base. Oh, by the way, before shout out, I wanted to thank people who are joining us right now and the whole session. And please, if you like our video, please liking our video, click the video you like, and also click the bell. And also, if you have not subscribed Juhl Media channel, please consider subscribing to it. And Ro- Ronnie, do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have
I
that?
do, but I don't use it yet. I
Okay.
do have a
Okay.
YouTube channel,
Okay. All
but
right.
I just don't use it yet.
Yeah.
Mostly
And,
everything I do is on Facebook
uh-huh.
and Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah. So Dr. Rodney's biography is in the description below. So you can see also his oh, actually I prepared this. Do you see that? That his Instagram and his Facebook what do you call handle? Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, so please we're not getting paid by Clubhouse, but if you a lot of people still don't know what Clubhouse is, and I really encourage you to explore, because I learned so much from people on Clubhouse. And You have to be careful though. It's very addictive. So I spent too many hours on Clubhouse. Sometimes, I learn filmmaking. Sometimes just talking. I met a lot of nice Chinese people. We talk about our own dialect, Shanghai dialect. So we
Mm,
can be together just to yabba yabba about nothing. But it's
mm,
sometimes it's fun to just chat. So
yeah.
anyway,
I,
yeah.
I think that social media has done a lot for helping people to connect and communicate. It's done a lot.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Great. So, all right. So, shout out. Anything you want to shout out?
Let me shout out to first my director of photography, Iron Daniels, and we call him IROC. And I just want to shout out to him because he, I would say, has been the most influential person for me to make this movie Shaded Passions. I want to shout out to my publicist because Fran, she's in Los Angeles there, and Fran is a great publicist. I appreciate it so much. And then all of the actors, everybody, some people didn't even get paid and they worked for me. And they're, I want to shout out to everybody that has anything to do with me. Anything. Anything at all. Okay?
Yay!
And
Shout
they all
out.
get a little piece of that.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, thank you so much for being with me and with Juhl Media and being with our guest. So let's do a what do you call rapid fire, which
Okay.
means I ask you a question. It's kind of short question and with short answer.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's start with the easy one. What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Okay. And 3 all-time best movie you like.
I like Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. I like Australia. And I like The Wizard of Oz.
What's your favorite food genre?
My favorite is seafood. I love seafood.
What is ethnically like? Say like a Mexican, Chinese, Japanese, like yeah.
I would have to say I love soul food.
Soul food.
Good old fashioned soul food, like my mom raised me on.
Yes, soul food. Yeah. I smell it already.
I think my wife is cooking, right?
Yeah. What kind of music do you listen to when you drive long distance?
I have a combination. My playlist is a combination of old school R&B and gospel. So I like those two things: the black gospel music and black old school R&B.
Wonderful. What instruments do you play?
I play drums. I play tuba. I play trumpet. I play trombone. I play the baritone horn, piano and organ. We can stop there.
You don't play the viola.
No. But Ching, I do play bass guitar.
Oh, it's not a string instrument.
It's close.
Hey, do you know why they call string instrument? What kind of thing consider string instrument? Do you know?
Of course, the violins, the strings.
Why? Why?
The catgut string. Catgut strings.
Why is a guitar not a string instrument?
I don't know. Tell me.
I'll tell you, because guitar is a plugging instrument. You plug.
Plugging.
String instrument has to do with play with a bow. Mm-hmm. That's called string. Yeah.
Okay.
Violin, viola, cello, bass. What else? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So harp is not a string instrument. Harp is a plugging instrument.
It's plugged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't call harp a plugging instrument either. So it's like by itself, it's like a species. Because it has like a 72 strings, right? Whatever.
Yeah. It's like
and with a lot of pedals,
piano.
A lot of pedals.
Like piano.
Yeah. So, okay, if you win $25 million lottery, what would you do with the money?
Pay off all of my bills, make a new movie, hire everybody who I want to be in the movie, right? And then leave the rest to my wife so that when I die, she can live happily ever after, as long as she doesn't get another man.
That's a selfish condition. Oh, you're so funny. Shark Fin is telling us a plugging instrument, not necessarily plugged in instrument, correct? Yeah. Yeah. That's great. So yeah, what else? Yeah, okay. If you have opportunity to take 3 person for dinner, dead or alive, who are these people?
First person would be Jesus Christ. Second person would be Martin Luther King. Okay. And a third person would be my mother.
Oh, that's so sweet. No one lives. They all, well, you cannot see Jesus, right? No, wait, never mind. So I was thinking a living person.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, okay, very good. So if money is not an issue, if you don't have to work, if you have a whole year of vacation, which country and which city would you like to live?
A single, just a single, one single.
Single, yeah.
It would probably be Africa.
Well, where?
That's the thing. You asked me what country.
What city? I got you.
Okay. So I don't know all the cities in Nigeria, but I would be very, very I think I would love to go there because the country is so diverse. But that's where I would love to go to. I'd love to spend a lot of time in Nigeria.
Yeah, that sounds so exotic. So great. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you speak English. Other languages do you speak?
I don't speak. I speak very broken Spanish. Very broken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't mean just broken. I mean broken and stomped on kind of broken. Okay.
Unfixable.
Unfixable. Unreparable. Okay.
Oh my God.
I took a Spanish class.
Yeah.
Flunked it.
Yeah.
Took it again. Flunked it again. Took it again. Flunked it again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So okay. So I think I'm gonna ask you one more question.
Sure.
It is a very easy one.
Okay.
Coffee or tea?
Tea. That's what
yeah?
I drink tea every day.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
What kind?
You know what? I drink different kinds. My favorite is probably apple spice.
Oh.
But my daughter lives in New Zealand. There's a brief story I got to tell you about this.
Oh, please.
My daughter lives in New Zealand. And when we went to New Zealand, they weren't drinking coffee. They were drinking tea. And they would get up every morning. They'd fix tea, and fix breakfast and what have you. And I got hooked on tea with cream.
Oh, very English.
Yes, very English. And that is what I drink just about every day is tea with cream.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And you never drink coffee?
Well, I don't drink coffee anymore. Now, my wife loves coffee.
Okay.
But whenever I go out,
and
every morning when she fixes me a drink, she always says, do you want tea? And I say yes.
Uh-huh.
When we go out, what would you like to drink?
Yeah.
Bring tea. But that is my preference now. It's funny you would ask that question.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a short story. Is this summer I went to Santa Barbara and went to a coffee shop. It's a Turkish coffee shop.
Okay.
I fallen in love with Turkish coffee now.
Oh.
I only drink Turkish coffee these days.
Okay. Great.
secret.
Yeah, that's great. Little trivia. Ching trivia.
Great. Well, yeah, I hope you come to my clubhouse. Did I tell you I have a clubhouse room on every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time? I have been hosting that for 42 times, 42 weeks. That is a 10-month. Every month. Now, next time on Christmas Day, that's landed on a Friday. So I'm not sure I should have it because I think people may be busy. But anyway, just to tell you, this coming Friday, maybe if you are free, okay?
Now 12 o'clock Eastern time, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, 12 o'clock Eastern time. Okay,
It's
I'll be in New Orleans then. And
Really?
yeah, my wife is from New Orleans.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
That's such a nice city with great food and
I love it.
jazz.
I love it. And if you
Yeah.
can imagine how wonderful it is to be married to somebody who cooks New Orleans food.
Oh, you're so lucky. Oh my God. I would like to meet her.
She's great. She is great.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if you are, driving or something, you don't need to really look at the phone,
Yeah.
So yes, every Friday at 12 noon Eastern time, I do this room for 2 hours.
Okay.
We talk about how to use smartphone to make film and make videos.
Okay.
Every Friday. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna see if I can make
maybe
it.
not. Yeah. Maybe not on Christmas Day. I don't want to torture people.
No.
But yeah. So thank you so much, and I want to thank a couple of people. Shark Thing, thank you so much for joining us. He made some very funny remarks. Where and how can we see? Shaded passions. I thought you already mentioned that, right?
Yeah, and thank you for asking, but we are waiting for the release date. That's what we're waiting for. So our distributor, Film Hub, has the movie. We have another distributor where Tubi has the movie, Tribeca. And so we're just waiting for our release date. As soon as it comes out, maybe Ching will have me back on and we can talk about that release.
Yeah, that's great. And Shark Fin says plugging instrument, not necessarily plugged in instrument. Great. And let's see, Jack was also asking you what kind of film are interested in making. I think you already touched that, right? You already talked about that.
Yes.
So yeah, I think Dr. Ronnie is making another one. Yeah, so lots of people are here. Thank you so much, Jack. Thank you. And earlier we have Anthony. Yeah, so you can always, if you missed this whole session from the beginning, which was 4 o'clock, you can always tune in. It's the same link. You can watch the same thing from beginning to the end. Okay, great. So we're going to end this session. And thank you so much, everybody, for watching us. Thank you, Dr. Rodney, for being with me. It's so much fun to talk to you.
It is fun. You have been a delight. Probably one of the top interviews that I've had. I love it. And thank you. You got all personal, all up in my business. And
Nosy.
it was good. It was good. I hope
you.
the people enjoyed it. I hope the people learned something. And I hope when the movie comes out, I hope that we can let them all know about it and they'll follow us.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so check us out in the below description and have a wonderful holiday, everybody. Holiday seasons, if I don't see you before that. Okay, great.
Thank you, Ching. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.